Wael B.Hallaq is a scholar of Islamic law and Islamic intellectual history. He is currently the Avalon Foundation Professor in the Humanities at Columbia University at the Department of Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African Studies. After a Ph.D. from the University of Washington, he joined the McGill University Institute of Islamic Studies in 1985, to become an assistant professor in Islamic law. In 1994, he earned full professorship, and in 2005 became a James McGill Professor in Islamic law. Hallaq is considered to be a leading scholar in the field of Islamic legal studies. His work has been translated into several languages, including Arabic, Hebrew, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Persian, and Turkish. In 2009, Hallaq was named among the 500 most influential Muslims in the world. Hallaq first became known for his work challenging the notion of closing of the gate of i.e., the abandonment of independent reasoning in search of a legal opinion, which had been posited by historians such as Joseph Shack to have occurred in Islam around 900 CE. His recent work explores the paradigmatic structures of Islamic political and ethical thought, which he uses as a foundation for a thorough critique of modern ethico-political paradigms that, he argues, are dominant since the Enlightenment. Hallaq's publications, lectures and course offerings reveal several dominant areas of interest and expertise. Primary among these have been: 1. A concern with the markedly problematic epistemic institutional ruptures generated by the onset of modernity and the many socio-politico-historical forces subsumed by it, especially in the overlapping areas of law and morality. 2. A related concern with intellectual history and the development of Orientalism, and the many repercussions of Orientalist paradigms in later scholarship and in Islamic legal studies as a whole. And 3. A thorough explication of the synchronic and diachronic development of Islamic traditions of logic, legal theory, and substantive law, along with an elucidation of the particulars of interdependent systems within these traditions. Hallaq's writings have laid bare the structural dynamics of legal change in pre-modern law, and have more recently asserted the central role of moral theory for understanding the history of Islamic law. His most exhaustive work to date, Sharia, Theory, Practice, Transformations, has been well received, and represents a pioneering attempt at introducing theory into the field of Islamic legal studies. Hallaq's interests and activities also extend into the world of art. In the past 2 decades he has produced numerous paintings and drawings, a selection of which may be viewed at Pinterest.com. All of these works appear to combine aesthetics with notions of moral and existential philosophies. With regard to the former, a strong interest in Cubism and Surrealism is evident, most apparent in terms of philosophies, and perhaps at the very heart of Hallaq's work, artistic and academic, is a penetrative exploration of the antinomy of the modern human condition, with all the paradoxes, contradictions and destructive tensions that this condition entails. Publications: authored volumes: The Impossible State, Islam, Politics, and Modernity's Moral Predicament. An Introduction to Islamic Law, Sharia, Theory, Practice, Transformations. The Origins and Evolution of Islamic Law. Was the Gate of He had closed? The Early Essays on the History of Islamic Legal Theories by Wael B.Hallaq, ed. and trans. Sushi Okuda. Authority, Continuity, and Change in Islamic Law. A History of Islamic Legal Theories. An Introduction to Sunni Usul al-Fiqh, Law and Legal Theory in Classical and Medieval Islam. Ibn Taymiyyah against the Greek Logicians, translated with an introduction and notes by Wael B.Hallaq. Series editor. Themes in Islamic Law, 7 vols. Edited anthologies. The Formation of Islamic Law. Islamic Studies presented to Charles J. Adams, edited by Wael B.Hallaq and Donald P. Little. Tradition, Modernity, and Postmodernity in Arabic Literature. Essays in honor of Professor Issa J. Boulata, edited by Kamal Abdul Malik and Wael Hallaq. Articles, Quranic constitutionalism and moral governmentality. Further notes on the founding principles of Islamic society and polity. Comparative Islamic Studies 8 1–2, 1–51. Groundwork of the Moral Law, A New Look at the Quran and the Genesis of Sharia, Islamic Law and Society, Volume 16, 239–79. Islamic Law, History and Transformation. The New Cambridge History of Islam, Volume 4, ed. R. Irwin, 142–83. What is Sharia? Yearbook of Islamic and Middle Eastern Law, 2005–2006, Volume 12, 151–80. Juristic Authority versus State Power, The Legal Crises of Modern Islam, Journal of Law and Religion, 19 101–116. Can the Sharia be restored? In Yvonne Y. Haddad and Barbara F. Stoser, eds. Islamic Law and the Challenges of Modernity, 21–53. Muslim Rage and Islamic Law, Hastings Law Journal, 54, 1–17. The Quest for Origins, a Doctrine. Islamic Legal Studies as Colonialist Discourse, UCLA Journal of Islamic and Near Eastern Law, 2, 1–31. A Prelude to Ottoman Reform. Ibn Abidin on Custom and Legal Change, Histories of the Modern Middle East, New Directions, eds. I. Gershoni al. 37–61. Takra and the Construction of Juristic Authority, Studies in Islamic Legal Theory, ed. Bernard G. Weiss, 317–35. On Dating Malik Smuwata, UCLA Journal of Islamic and Near Eastern Law, 1, 47–65. From Geographical to Personal Schools, A Re-Evaluation, Islamic Law and Society, 8, 1–26. The author, Jurist and Legal Change in Traditional Islamic Law, RIMO, 1831–75. The Authenticity of Prophetic Hadith, A Pseudo-Problem, Studia Islamica, 89–75–90. QADI's Communicating Legal Change and the Law of Documentary Evidence, Alcantara XX, 437–66. The QADI's Divan Before the Ottomans, Bulletin of the School of Oriental and African Studies, 61, 3, 415–36. Introduction, Issues and Problems, Islamic Law and Society, 3, 2, 127–36. IFDA and Ijtihad in Sunni Legal Theory, A Developmental Account, in K.H. Masood, Brink Messick, and David Powers, eds. Islamic Legal Interpretation, Muftis and the Fatwas, 33–43. Model Sharat Works and the Dialectic of Doctrine and Practice, Islamic Law and Society, 2, 109–34. Murder in Cordoba, Ijtihad, IFDA and the Evolution of Substantive Law in Medieval Islam, Acta Orientalia, 55–83. From Fatwas to Furu, Growth and Change in Islamic Substantive Law, Islamic Law and Society, 1, 17–56. Co-author, Symposium on Religious Law, Roman Catholic, Islamic, and Jewish Treatment of Familial Issues, Loyola of Los Angeles International and Comparative Law Journal, 1, 16, 41f, 53f, 79f. Was al-Shafi'i the master architect of Islamic jurisprudence? International Journal of Middle East Studies, 4, 587–605. U.S. Wael Hallaq, Beyond Tradition, Journal of Islamic Studies, 3, 2, 172–202. Ibn Taymiyyah on the Existence of God, Acta Orientalia, 52, 49–69. 135–153. The Primacy of the Quran in Shatibi's Legal Theory, in Wael B.Hallaq and D. Little, eds. Islamic Studies presented to Charles J. Adams, 65–86. On Inductive Corroboration, Probability and Certainty in Sunni Legal Thought, in Nicholas L. Here, ed. Islamic Law and Jurisprudence Studies in honor of Farhat J. Ziyada, 3–31. Logic, Formal Arguments and Formalization of Arguments in Sunni Jurisprudence, or Arabica, 37, 3, 315–358. The Use and Abuse of Evidence. The Question of Provincial and Roman Influences on Early Islamic Law. Journal of the American Oriental Society. 110, 179–91. Non-analogical Arguments in Sunni Juridical Qiyas. Or Arabica, 36, 3, 286–306. Notes on the term Narina in Islamic Legal Discourse. Journal of the American Oriental Society, 108, 3, 475–80. A 10th–11th century treatise on juridical dialectic, Muslim World, 77, 2–3, 198–227. The Development of Logical Structure in Islamic Legal Theory, Der Islam, 64, 1, 42–67. Reprinted in Islamic Law and Legal Theory, ed. Ian Edge. On the Origins of the Controversy about the Existence of Mujtahids and the Gate of Ijtihad, Studia Islamica, 63129–41. Persian translation by A. Kazemi Musavi, Rishahayi Bath Darbarayi Vujudi Mujtahid Virginia Babai Ijtihad Tahqiqa Islami, 5, 1–2, 123–34. Translated into Bahasa Indonesia by Nurul Agustini in Hikmat, 7, 43–54. On the Authoritativeness of Sunni Consensus. The International Journal of Middle East Studies, 18, 4427–54. The Logic of Legal Reasoning in Religious and Non-Religious Cultures. The Case of Islamic Law and Common Law. The Cleveland State Law Review, 34, 1, 79–96. Reprinted in Comparative Legal Cultures, ed. C. Sabavaga, 401–418. Considerations on the Function and Character of Sunni Legal Theory. Journal of the American Oriental Society, 104, 4, 679–89. Caliphs, Juris and the Seljuks in the Political Thought of Juwayni, Muslim World, 74, 1, 26–41. Was the Gate of Ijtihad closed? International Journal of Middle East Studies, 16, 1, 3–41. Reprinted in Islamic Law and Legal Theory, ed. Ian Edge. Translated into Turkish by Bilal Kaspiana. Ijtihad Kapasi Kapali Media. Islami Araştırmalar Dergisi. Translated into Hebrew in Al-Jama. The Chaim Herzog Center for Middle East Studies, 8118–68, with an introduction by Nimrod Hurwitz. Encyclopedia entries. The Encyclopedia of the Quran. 1. Apostasy, Volume I, 119–22. 2. Contracts and Alliances, Volume I, 431–35. 3. Forbidden, Volume 2, 223–226. 4. Innovation, Volume 2, 536–37. 5. Law and the Quran, Volume 3. 149–72. Ghazali as Faqih. Encyclopedia Iranica ed. E. Yashata, Volume 10. Facts. 4. 372–74. The Encyclopedia of Islam. New edition. 1. Shart. 2. Talfiq. 3. Zahir. Encyclopedia of the Modern Middle East. 1. Fatwa. Volume 2. 649. 2. Fiqh. Volume 2. 666. 3. Hadith. Volume 2. 752. 4. Hanafi Law School. Volume 2. 771. 5. Hanbali Law School. Volume 2. 772. 6. Maliki Law School. Volume 3. 1157–58. 7. Shafi'i Law School. Volume IV. 1629. 8. Sharia. Volume IV. 1638–39. Oxford Encyclopedia of the Modern Islamic World. 4 vols. 1. Ahl Hall Wall. AQD. Volume 1. 53–4. 2. Consensus. Volume 1. 312–4. 3. Faqih. Volume 2. 1. 4. Ijtihad. Volume 2. 178–81. Al-Mantiq al-Uzuli al-Mawsu'a al-Falsafiyya al-Arabia. Volume 2. Pte. 1289–95.